Oh, 2, 1. People of the world. Hello and welcome to Marketing as a Foreign Language. My name is Kellen Kautzman. You know me by now. If you don't, hi, welcome to the show. Episode 190. Did you know that there is a vocabulary word that's a little sticky? It's sticky like the jellied hands of a 4-year-old. What is this word? That would be mompreneur. What is the subtext of this word? What are we really talking about when we say mompreneur? Well, I suppose from one perspective, we're talking about someone who's juggling two things. So when you hear that, do you think, oh, well, it's not really an entrepreneur because they're taking their kids to the doctor and they're doing this and they're doing that. It's kind of a buzzword. And it's kind of garbage from one perspective. And that perspective is, aren't you just an entrepreneur? Like, why are we going to this extra layer? Now, if we're saying it out of respect and we're saying, wow, you're doing this incredible thing, you're doing two things, but why isn't dadpreneur a thing then? Why am I not a dadpreneur? Maybe I'll start talking about being a dadpreneur because I obviously take my kids' education, their life experience incredibly seriously, but nobody assumes that I am juggling these two things. And therein lies the problem, perhaps, with the word mompreneur. My guest today, Lauren Gamble, is one such mompreneur, you could say. Ooh, we have someone in chat. Intruderoo. Entrepreneurs are onions. They have layers. Shout out to Intruderoo. Coming in hot. In chat on Twitch. We are live 10:30 a.m. Pacific Standard Time on Twitch, YouTube, my personal LinkedIn, Facebook, etc. If you're listening to us after the fact on Spotify or iTunes, you know we love you. So our guest today, Lauren Gamble, does many interesting things. We're going to be talking about natural remedies. We're going to be talking about the fact that she moved 10 times. I want to say in the last 9 years, some crazy number like that. If you have any questions in chat, why don't you shoot them by way of Lauren Gamble? Ladies and gentlemen, allow me to introduce you to the one, the only entrepreneur, Lauren Gamble.
Thank you. Happy to be here.
Here you are. You've done it. You've done it, Lauren Gamble. Everyone looks up to you.
Dadpreneur.
You can call me a dadpreneur all you like.
I'm just kidding.
There's nothing. I mean, I'm down with it. Hashtag dadpreneur. Okay, so let's start with what you're doing now. I know you've got multiple businesses. You're selling like e-courses, e-books for the natural remedies side. So let's get a quick overview on that, and then we're gonna go back. Kidpreneur. I like that. All right, Lauren, take it away.
Cool. So yeah, as Kellen just said, I do a few things. So I have an e-commerce business. I blog a little bit. And I pretty much build businesses with like data in mind. So building email lists, obviously making connections with people, but really like kind of moving. I really like to like move my audience like off of social media to like have a connection otherwise. So keeping data in mind, and I do a little bit of everything: marketing, e-com, affiliate marketing.
So when you own your own stuff, obviously you have a huge financial incentive to just get it right. And so you've experimented, you've played in this space. Why natural home remedies? What is it about this stuff that makes you want to keep doing it? Besides the money, Lauren.
I know. Well, for me, it was like, this was something that I was personally kind of drawn into before I even thought about building a business with it. So my son, so I have a son, obviously, but my son was born premature. And I had a few friends who were like, you know, in the MLM, like essential oil world, natural remedy world. And that like, I kind of learned about it that way and started doing my own research and really got into the topic like on my own. So I was able to like kind of dabble in it before I created a business, but I really found a gap like in the business for like affordable stuff, like actual like learning materials that aren't biased. So I like teaching people about natural remedies and essential oils in an unbiased kind of way, because a lot of the information out there today is just that. It's very biased. Like, buy our stuff.
Is it garbage? How much of this stuff is garbage, and how do you move away from that? Because I think, people are like, it cures cancer, it cures everything, it cures this, it cures that. How much of the world of natural remedies is that, would you say?
Honestly, I feel like the potential of natural remedies is huge, but I feel like there's an understanding that goes behind it. And I think a lot of the time, people who market or promote natural remedies aren't giving the whole story. It's like there's more than just taking a supplement to make your cancer. Like, I don't want to use the C word, but I mean, like, let's just say you've got IBS. It's like, okay, take the supplement and get rid of your IBS. Like, no, like, I mean, you can't just like eat crap all day and take some natural remedy.
Dude, let's
IBS.
talk about that. I don't know if my listeners, and shout out to Chess World Scientists. Good to see you, buddy. So I don't know if you realize this, listeners, but if you have heartburn, have you ever just taken a single broccoli, and put that into your body? I, like an idiot, have just been shoveling Tums down, I've just been eating Tums. And I did a Google search the other day. I was like, anti-inflammatory foods. And they're like, vegetables. And so I'm like, seriously? And so I'll just take a raw broccoli, I'll eat it, and it cures the heartburn, because the stomach acid is my body is telling me, hey, look, dude, we want nutrition, right? And we are filling that part of the body that is just looking for that fibrous stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, exactly. Like, you can't eat it in and out and then expect this stuff to,
Right.
make this miraculous change for you.
Yeah, you really got to get to like the root of it. Like, essential oils can help you relax, but it's like, why are you stressed in the first place? It's like they have that potential to enhance like a feeling, but I feel like there's so much more like behind it, like helping people and educating people about like really like digging deep and finding like that root cause and helping them kind of figure that out too along the way. And then obviously like natural remedies, only help, but
yeah, for me, I'm a big diet guy. Diet is such a big deal. And I'm a huge evangelist of tea drinking. I think everyone should be drinking some tea. Chess World Scientist, also known as Intruderu, modern science, especially the influence of big pharma on our society, has heavily undermined natural remedies. And I would agree. I would agree with that. So why don't we go back, because this is interesting. I know we got a touch of the origin story with your son being born prematurely, and that sort of was an impetus. But let's go all the way back. We can do this one of two ways. Way number one is I was born in this place, and that's cool, this city, and blah, blah, blah. Way number two would be going back to your parents or their grandparents. We had a Buddhist on the show who said that if her grandfather had not picked up on what was happening in Nazi Germany at the time, this general walked into his store and said some stuff, and he's like, okay, we're leaving the country now, she wouldn't exist. So she went all the way back there. So however you want to do it. You want to talk about your parents, or you want to talk about you?
That's pretty deep. We could talk about me. I don't know. I mean, I grew up in Ohio.
Ohio,
O-H-I-O, if you're from there. But yeah, I grew up I guess you could say, like, I don't know if you want to call it like standard, but a pretty like mundane childhood. I had two parents, they were married. I grew up in a home where entrepreneurship was not like talked about. Like, I didn't even know about it like until I was an adult. So it was like, it's kind of ironic that I've landed here, but yeah, I don't know. My upbringing was not super open-minded. I feel like even still, a lot of my family is like very like in the routine of not that it's like the wrong way to live, but it's very different than like how my life has turned out. But growing up,
let's talk about open-mindedness. What does that mean? What is closed-mindedness to you?
For me, just the way that I'm like speaking about it now, I guess, is like just knowing that there's more, like knowing that more is possible. I think like as a child, that's a huge thing that I try to like instill in my son is like, okay, like, but like, what about this? Like, there's more to like what we're talking about, no matter what it is. And it's like growing up, I feel like closed-mindedness was like, this is the world, you know, kind of taught me like, this is the world, this is how it is. You know, you get a job, you do your thing, and then
So
you
we're
retire.
talking paycheck to paycheck.
Yeah,
Yeah. So
kind of.
so that was your financial blueprint
Mhm.
growing up, was everyone was paycheck. So what did your parents do?
My dad was a mailman, still
Okay.
is, like
Yeah.
30 plus years. And my mom works in the medical field, in radiation therapy, believe it or not. So a lot of the like natural remedies I'm using kind of contradict what my
Okay.
mom does for a living. Yeah.
I that we're gonna dig into that. But first, as a mompreneur, did the pandemic ever inspire you to take on more responsibilities or business opportunities, or did you have to weigh it to your kids and life at home? Question from Intruderu in chat.
Um, I think for me, the pandemic helped me kind of focus on me. Like I've been so focused on like my businesses. I mean, I've been building my businesses for 4 years now. It was 3 years, like 3 years as the pandemic started. But it really like because I had more time, I think as a mom and like at home with my own thoughts, like it helped me focus on me and like really helped me figure out like how can I help people beyond my businesses. So I think that I've taken on more like personal responsibilities, like personal business responsibilities, but as far as like I don't know, like my son has been like with us for I mean, he's 4 now and he's lived every single day at home. I've rarely taken him to like daycare, so it wasn't really anything new. Like I've always ran my business from home. He's always been here in some capacity. So, as far as a mom, you know, I didn't have too much change and like juggling, if you will, with like
All
being
right.
an entrepreneur and a mom.
Yeah. So you and your mom have a good relationship? So here
We
you are. Here you are. Say no more. So here you are. You have decided to go into natural remedies, which is one could argue the opposite of radiation therapy. Is that true? Do you think they're opposites?
um I don't think they're opposites because I feel like radiation is so like niche, like it's so for one thing. And like
Hmm.
natural remedies is like so broad. I mean, anyone can utilize it. So I think that there can be some contradiction like within that space, but I don't think that I mean, that's not a cause, obviously, of like my mom and I's relationship and like the lack thereof. But like, I don't know. I think there are some contradictions, yes, and I think that there are some people out there that market it as such, like as an opposite of that.
Right. Right. Okay. So you're in the Ohio. Parents are
Mhm.
together. You get into elementary school. What kind of kid are you? Extroverted,
I'm a
introverted?
shy kid. I am like a like let people walk all over me kind of kid.
Okay.
Yeah. Like, I feel like my whole like, me as, like, a kid growing into, like, who I am today is, like, a very strong shift away from, like, how I was as a kid, and I think that, like I, like, hate to go to, like, mindset, but I think becoming an entrepreneur has really, like, changed my mindset in, like, I don't know, like, the world and, like, me and what I'm capable of, and I think that, like, as a kid, I was, like, very kinda go with the flow, like, not very take control of a situation or, like, take control of anything. Like, I was a very I don't know, very, like
Peacemaker, sort of let
yeah.
it, don't want to ruffle any feathers, that sort of
Oh,
vibe.
exactly. Yeah.
Okay. So as a kid who is not looking for confrontation, perhaps not looking for risk. Would that be fair to say?
Yeah, not at all.
Risk averse. At a certain point, there is a flipping of the switch. That being said, your particular style of entrepreneurship, it feels like there is distance between you and the customer. Am I wrong about that? Because in my world, it's face to face. Like we are working directly with you, or the calls. It's very interactive. Is that true of your entrepreneurship as well in your businesses, or is it more the customer is this sort of person that you target with the ads, but there's some distance between you and them?
I think there is, obviously like distance, like one-on-one at the beginning, but I think that me especially, like I try to, from the beginning, no matter at what point someone enters any of my businesses, like I try to, even if it is an automated like type of style, like I try to make a connection so that they know like who I am. And that was actually one thing that, like, now that you're saying that, one thing that when I started my e-com business, something that I really like focused on was customer service, and like making sure if someone had a question, like they could literally like call my Google Voice would come right through my cell phone, and I would like answer my phone to customers. And at this point I was getting like thousands of customers a week, but they knew like, hey, if I call, like Lauren's going to call me back, or Lauren's going to email me back. So like I still make sure that my customers, my audience knows that there is that, that there is that availability there. But it's not so much like a scheduled out where someone maybe, with clients would be like a one-on-one type of situation. And two, with all my businesses, I make sure to show myself, like I show my face, I'm on video, I'm always interacting, so that people can make that connection and feel like, because that's really, the root of marketing, I feel like it's connecting with people. And I think that if people know who you are and know like your face, like a lot of my audience like knows a lot about me. So as it is kind of like distant, like one-on-one wise, I feel like I've made a lot of really great connections, like even being in an online business.
Sure. So, obviously, as we progress through life and our body changes and our mind changes, and we find ourselves behaving differently. As a shy kid, if someone were to come up to you and talk to you, would you feel awkward, or would you be fine with that? Like, was it hard initiating the conversation, or?
Yeah. So I think as a kid, and this is even like kind of followed me into adulthood. And I've kind of broken out of that shell, but initiating has always been initiating a relationship, or initiating a conversation, like more like not so like on the surface type of conversations. Like I could have an on the surface conversation with just about anyone and not feel awkward, but when it gets like, like into the deeper stuff, it was like, what is this? Like, how do I talk about this? Like even with my family, like we never really had super deep like conversations. So I think that it was very like on the surface, I was not so much like awkward, but like inside, like when you started getting like deeper and deeper, it gets more awkward.
Sure. So let's go to chat. Do you believe that your personality kid experiences led you to the realm of e-com?
I don't actually. So like as I grew up, so like into like early adulthood, you could say, I had jobs. Sorry if you can hear this noise outside.
You're fine.
But I had jobs as like a server, restaurant server. I actually went to like hair school. So I like had a lot of leaf blowing. I had a lot of like interactions with people, and I actually do now love interacting with people, like, even being a shy kid, because I think that those like jobs, if you will, kind of helped me break out of that, like break out of like initiating things, because I mean, you have literally no other choice than like doing that and that type of work. But I think what led me to e-commerce was really just knowing like that I can reach so many people with my message, like than doing things brick and mortar style. I think that like, I really thought about that like before starting my businesses, was like, okay, I literally have the potential to reach like anyone on the planet this way. And do I really have the potential to do that like with anything else, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So a lot of people who get into e-com fail.
Mm-hmm.
They just fail. So when you were a kid, were you like a 4.0, great grades, killing it on the grades front? So elementary school, you a good student?
Elementary school, I was a good student.
Okay.
I had
That
a
fell
little
apart at some point?
I had a little rebellious phase, yeah.
Did your hair change in that rebellious phase to a different color?
No, it didn't.
It didn't. It stayed the same.
And that was like, it's so funny that you say that, because like when I was going through this little thing, like all, you know, like when you like, I guess some people go through it, some people don't. When you're like hanging out with the wrong crowd and like, they're like, you look like good. Like you look like you wouldn't like cause trouble or like do anything. And I'm like, well, like maybe that's helping me. But no, I never like changed like anything like that. But no, I had a little high school. I had a little rebellion. I was a good student in elementary school. I got into like when I went into high school, I actually like was in some advanced classes. And then like 10th grade, I think it was like when I got my driver's license, is like when I was like, yeah, I'm going to do whatever I want. And I like totally rebelled. I like flunked a class. And then it was like, yeah, it was
so that's a bit of an entrepreneur streak. So the moment you could taste freedom was the moment that you're like, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and do what I do the way that I do it. Todd Farino, thank you for joining us and thank you for the comments. E-com e-com to me is a very liberating, if you do it well and you can make money doing it, because the sky's the limit in terms of what you can sell. You can just keep fighting that battle. And I don't know how to pronounce your name, dude. Intruderu. Let's go with Intruderu. Right. Relax, Kellen. Not all of us go through hair changes. Instead, we bleach our hair. So if Intruderu, you can just maybe email me a picture of that. I'll put it on the screen. So yeah, to me, this sort of high school rebellion connects pretty well to the entrepreneur vibe. Yeah. I can see that. How much autonomy do you have? Do you have full autonomy at this point? I mean, you're your own boss. You have your own brands. Do you have any business partners that you have to run decisions by?
My husband and my brother-in-law are my business partners. So that can, it's a good thing. It's a good thing. But for the most part, and we obviously have freelancers and employees, but business decisions between us, but everything is pretty automated. I mean, besides new launches, new products, things like that, it is. It's pretty on autopilot.
Intruder writes, dang, the bureaucracy is thick with all those business partners.
Right.
I'm not gonna press on this because I know you've got relationships with these folks and we're live and it's public. So I'll just say this. If you are an entrepreneur and you 100% own your business, it is very different than sharing it with someone else. And I'm not saying better, I'm not saying worse, I'm saying different. Yeah. They are. One's a marriage, and another is it's just difficult to describe. I have seen business partners divorce. I've seen business partner divorce, and it is as messy as marriage divorce. Oh, yeah. I mean, it's ugly when two business partners go at it and split. Okay, so high school, what was your car? What were you driving?
Oh, my car. I had I think it was like a 1997 Pontiac Grand Prix.
Sexy.
I wish I could remember like what it said, but I had some sort of like glamour plate. Like I cannot for the life of me remember what it said, but I had a glamour plate. I had like pink lights inside. It's a cool ride.
So you were the cool kid.
It was a cool ride.
So I believe you when you say that. My first car was a minivan, which is great. You'd think it's garbage.
I learned how to drive with a minivan.
Bro, they're the best ever because you can take all your friends with you. You got a bunch of room in there for shenanigans. And it's just, I mean, people say, they've got their critiques of the big white minivan, but I love that car.
Now they've got like laws, I think, like you can only have like one kid, like one friend with you at a time in your car, and like all that. Like what?
Whatever. I don't care about that stuff. Okay, so you've managed to. Okay, so you flunked a class in high school, which is pretty gnarly. What class was it?
English.
You flunked English? Is it because you just didn't care?
Yeah. Yeah, it was like, I mean, me like flunking a class was like, I don't even know, like, because I was there. Like, I was literally there every day. So it's like, how do you flunk a class that you're
If your English teacher is watching this right now, is there anything you want to say to that person who flunked you?
Yeah, I'm sorry I was a bad kid, man. I was stupid.
Taking responsibility for it.
Yeah, man. And I was kind of like, I don't know. I mean, like, as all rebellions are, like, as a kid, it's like, you're right. Like, no one else can tell me what to do. But I don't know. Like, I feel like I like kind of let some of that rebellion, like, out of me. I don't know, like, with my teacher. But it was for me, like, looking back, I'm actually kind of glad that I had that, because it's like looking back, like, I don't know. It's like, I mean, even like in entrepreneurship, right? It's like you make mistakes and it's like, was it really like a mistake, Like,
yeah, I get that. It's look, I don't believe in coincidences. I think our life stories are incredible and perfect, and they wrap up perfectly when you die and everything's great. But your teacher actually is in chat. Do you know what your teacher?
Yeah, I know,
do you see that? Your teacher writes,
opportunities.
That's right. He or she, I don't know, writes, I mean, I offered you extra credit opportunities, but for some reason you didn't take them. That's why I flunked you. So thank you, high school teacher. What are the chances that your high school teacher was right here in chat?
That's
incredible.
You,
Todd Farino writes, I flunked English composition as well, and it was Mrs. Stein's fault. Yeah, see, Todd, no. See, yeah, no apologies from Todd. It was definitely Mrs. Stein. So if you're listening to this after the fact or watching us after the fact and you want to join in on chat, 10:30 a.m. Pacific Standard Time is when you would do that. Just type in Send It Rising or Marketing as a Foreign Language. You can find the link to the live show. Join us for the shenanigans. We are coming up on 11 o'clock, which means we have a few minutes left. Lauren, I want to give you an opportunity to pitch, tell people where to go to buy your stuff and make you a richer entrepreneur. How do they do that?
So really, I mean, you can follow me on Instagram, and I have everything that I've got going on linked on there. Lauren F. Gamble is my Instagram, but I really, a lot of like, I don't know, I don't have much to pitch. I mean, I just released a new book. So if you want to go buy that on Amazon.
You don't have much to pitch. I just released a new book. Seriously?
I
just have this book I wrote. That's all. You know how it goes.
I don't have too much like other than that to pitch. I mean, I like to talk with people, follow me on YouTube, follow me here, follow me on Instagram. But yeah, I just literally just today I put it on Kindle. So it's called Turning Your Likes into Customers.
Boom, mic drop. Boom. We're going to do one more question from Intruderu. He writes, my big question, how do you and your business with natural remedies combat the monetary influences of big pharma? Yeah,
man. It's gotten a lot tougher like since we've kind of started, but really it's just like learning how to work around it. I mean, for me, I am not one with my marketing to make claims. So there are a lot of people who do make claims, and those are the people who have to go through hundreds of like Facebook accounts to keep up their business. But yeah, we don't really make claims. We really just offer value. So a lot of the stuff that I do on the front end that is influenced by big pharma and the government and all that is really very mild. So it's kind of like, a free ebook with infused water recipes. And I kind of like funnel people through those first by offering them pretty subtle, like mild value. So nothing gets too flagged on my accounts, but it has gotten a little tougher. I think everyone, like any entrepreneur, has seen like a change in the algorithms like over the years, but yeah, I keep it pretty vanilla, pretty mild on the front end, so I don't have to really deal with much of that.
Ladies and gentlemen, Lauren Gamble, entrepreneur extraordinaire. Join us for the live show, 10:30 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, every Monday through Friday. We are off tomorrow because I'm going to be in Seal Beach. Let's go. So we'll see you all on Monday. If you're listening to us after the fact on iTunes, Spotify, or the 10 others podcast platforms that we are out there on, we appreciate it. Swing by YouTube, leave a like, subscribe. You know you want to. Lauren, we'd love to have you back on the show. Final thoughts from Lauren.
This was fun. This was a lot different than anything else I've done. So it was cool. Thanks for you guys tuning in. Happy to be here. And yeah, I'd love to come back.
Yeah, come back. Fun. Let's do it. And so what did I want to say? I want to say one more thing to you, Lauren. And that is next time we will pick up around high school. We know that you've got a lovely car with a glamour plate, and we will get into college and all that stuff. So next time, stay tuned for Lauren's big return. For now, that is marketing as a foreign language. We will see you next time. Bye.